it's impossible at this point to connect our marketing, everything we're doing marketing-wise, to business. And the umbrella campaign consists of all the stuff you guys have seen recently in New York City. We use it during the campaign to see what's working, what's not working, understand demographics, understand different types of interests and affinity groups, interaction with the website, bounce rates, just really understand what's actually actively going on as a result of the campaign. And you'll use it after the campaign to kind of, put together an analysis and decide what worked and what didn't, and what can we use moving forward, and what do we recommend. So that's a very broad sense of it. Obviously, it goes a lot deeper than that. It gets deep when you bring in people like our data science department, which their job is to specifically export a lot of the data from here, which we're not going to get too into right now because we don't have that much time, but to export a lot of the data and come up with different types of algorithms and formulas to predict what's happening moving forward, come up with attribution models, things like that. So I'm not sure if you guys went into attribution models. I don't have attribution. So attribution is pretty much the ability to attribute what you guys are doing marketing-wise and how it's succeeding. So a lot of tools will give you, at the bare minimum, attribution that says last click. So let's pretend that someone sees an ad on Facebook, and then they see a TV commercial ad, and then they Google something, and a paid search ad comes up. They click that ad, and then they buy something online. Basic attribution models will attribute all the success of that purchase to the paid search link that they clicked, that last thing they did, because that's last click attribution. However, there's obviously a bunch of other things that happen along the journey. The videos they saw on Facebook, the commercials they saw, all these things, that when you use the very basic and rudimentary attribution models, those don't get credit. So how do you really allocate funds moving forward? A very basic person might look at that and say, well, let's spend all our money on paid search. Well, then you try to do that, and you find that the people were actually not as likely to search what you thought they would search, or when they did search it, they weren't as likely to click that ad because they didn't see the Facebook video or something that happened before. So coming up with that attribution model is very custom and distinct to each type of business and each industry, because you have to understand, is this a 30-day industry where someone is interested in buying and then 30 days later they make a purchase? Is this an industry that may take 2 years, instantly happen in a few hours? There's a lot of different components that go into it. So these are some of the types of things that we're trying to constantly figure out for each client. When people launch a startup, a lot of the times they'll stare at this and they'll see like, what the hell? Sorry for my language, but a ton of people are coming to this page and then they're bouncing away and they're leaving. So what's going on? You'll just stare at it, and it could be useful. For bigger companies, it's a little bit less useful, but I thought it'd be cool to show you guys. So in locations, it starts at the country. So as you can see, it's mostly in the United States. In the United States, you can break it down further into city. So this is each of the cities that are currently, again, obviously it's mostly in New York. And then after that, for real time, that's the furthest you can go. So then you have traffic sources. These are really important to us. So a traffic source gets created, or Google reads it based on what's called, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of UTM codes. UTM. So UTM. So at the end of a link, you'll notice an advertisement, there's going to be a question mark, and then it'll have a bunch of stuff after it. Some of the stuff will say source equals, medium equals, etc. That's how we tag the internet to understand where our ads are and what people are clicking. So the ad that we put on Facebook, we're going to say that the link is .org/question mark, and we're going to say source equals DeVito Verdi, so they know it came from our agency efforts. We'll say medium equals Facebook, and we might go a little bit further. We might say campaign equals umbrella campaign or urgent care campaign, whatever it might be. But you have every link online is tagged with some sort of custom attribution at the end, so that way you can go back to Google Analytics and read it out. So in Analytics right now, the amount of people that are on, so a lot of them say none and direct. Those are all the people that went straight into the browser. You got a lot of people on Google Organic, Bing Organic, there's a lot of Yext. So this is all the people currently on right now from a DeVito Verdi ad from Facebook. These are all DeVito Verdi YouTube ads, etc. So that's what traffic source is, and obviously we use this for attribution to understand where people are coming from and what they're doing when they get there. Then you have things like content, which is which actual page on the website that they're on, both the URL as well as the page title. Events, which are also very important to us. So we're tracking every event that can happen online. So an event like a click of a phone call number on the website, that's extremely important to us. That's looked to us as a conversion. That's the most conversion that we're going to be able to get. When we're looking at conversions on our team, when we're creating all these campaigns, is we're reporting the number of phone calls that get made, the number of form submissions that get made, and then the number of people that go to Google and search for directions to the hospital. Those are the biggest type of direct conversions that we can show, because that's not the same thing as showing hospital sales and things like that, because that's very hard to correlate. But whether someone clicked on a phone number or clicked on a form, we know that every time because of the events that we have set up. And for example, someone here, this is in real time, remember, so in real time, within the past few minutes, someone clicked to make a phone call. So that's 6 people, as you can see right now. That's the biggest event that just happened within the past several minutes. So that's awesome. That means things are going well. In this day and age, when you guys are talking to anyone, and you guys are trying to get a job or anything like that, talking about, just bringing up these buzzwords, I'm telling you, will help you so much. I'm sure this is cool, but talking about how attribution is important, like I talked about before, that's huge. Like, you guys do that, and you guys will be gold. Talking about how the customer journey and the path is extremely important. That's understanding every movement that the person is taking up until when they actually make the purchase or make the conversion, as well as after that, and if they're coming back. So understanding every touch point across digital, and then both across digital and non-digital, is really big.